Hey everybody, Substatica here. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can access and change a whole bunch of secret settings that are available in Green Hell VR for MetaQuest, such as changing the day and time, stopping the day-night cycle, removing all of your ailments, all of your injuries, unlocking crafting recipes in your notebook, and more. So let's get into it. Before we get started, take a minute to click the S in the corner to subscribe. Heading for 100,000 subscribers, and I would love to have you on the team. Also like, share, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the video or the game, Green Hell VR. And if you're interested in getting 10% off your MetaQuest games and apps, or 10% off your one-shot energy chews, you can use the links in the description and you'll be supporting this channel at the same time. Now, in order to access these secret settings for Green Hell VR, you're going to need a PC that can run SideQuest. You're going to need the ability to connect your MetaQuest headset to that PC with a cable, and you're going to need a text editor such as Notepad. Now, once you've connected your MetaQuest headset to your PC with a cable and opened up SideQuest, you're going to be presented with the SideQuest homepage looking something like this. You're going to want to click on the folder icon in the top right that when you mouse over it says Manage Files on the headset. I'm going to go ahead and open up my notes here so I know which directory to go to, and you can see as well. We're going to go to Android, then we're going to go to Data, then we're going to go to com.incuvo.greenhellvr. So scroll down. There we are, com.incuvo.greenhellvr. Then we are going to click on Files. Now here we have a bunch of directories, some of which represent the save files for the game. So we're going to access the settings on a per save file basis. And you can see here we have directories for Co-op, Spirits of Amazonia, Co-op Story, Co-op Survival. And if we scroll down, you can see we have SOA, or Spirits of Amazonia, Story, and Survival. And these are all of the save files for the game. In each of these directories is the set of save files for that game mode. And for now, I'm going to work on the Spirits of Amazonia single player save files, which is this directory here. Now, you can click this disk icon to save the entire directory, or if you only want to edit one save file, you can actually go into the directory and then choose the save file that you want to adjust the settings in. Click the save icon. It's going to ask you for a directory to save that file in. Choose wherever you want on your PC's hard drive, and then you're going to have a copy of that file on your PC that you can edit with a text editor. I've already saved a bunch of files here. These are my Spirits of Amazonia saves from my recent video, and we're going to edit save 1. So I'm going to open up Notepad. You probably want to back up the save file first. So I'll just do Control-C, Control-V after selecting it. And now we have a copy of that save file in case we want to restore that should we break something in the save file. Now, I've opened up the save file here in Notepad, and it is in readable, what's called XML format. And you can see here we have a bunch of settings for the game and the values for those settings. So we've got player position, which you can play around with if you want. What we're going to do is change some settings here, then we're going to save this file, and then we can drag it back into that same directory in SideQuest, and that will save the file on the headset and apply the changes. So right away we can see some really juicy stuff in here. Stats. Is stats update on? So if we just change this to false, then our in-game stats will not update. We can also see we have health, stamina, energy, sanity, and we could put these all to 100 if we wanted to max them out. Then we have macro elements. We can turn off the nutrition updates. Right now, is nutrition updates on is true. Again, we could set this to false. I'm just selecting true and then I'm typing in false. This is just text. We could set these all to 100 as well if we wanted to max them out. We could turn off disease updates here. Diseases are currently on, or we can adjust each disease level and I guess the disease current time. I'm not really sure what the current time does, how long we've had that disease, something like that. You can play around with it if you're interested in that. Then we have player injuries. So you could remove injuries here. In that case, you'd want to have a save file that has no injuries for reference, like this one has no injuries. So I could replace sections of another save file if I wanted to remove injuries from the player. And we have right arm. And then we have world settings. Nutrients depletion multiplier. So we could make nutrients deplete faster or not at all by changing this to 0, I suppose, or 2. We can turn off tribes, predators, arachnids, leeches, snakes, aquatic, energy, HP loss, sanity. I'm not sure what map navigation is, but we could turn that off as well. Now time, what I've found is that time represents both the day and the time of day. So this 0 is the number of days. So the whole number is the day number. If we change this to 5, that would be day 5. And then the decimals are the time of day. So 5.5 would actually be noon on day 5. So halfway through the day. Whereas something like 5.9 would be like 11 p.m. or something like that. So it is the day decimal, then basically a percentage of the time of day. That's how I understand it to work, and that's worked for me when I've made this change to make it noon. So go for 0.5 if you want noon, and you can adjust the days with the whole number there. We can turn off the day cycle. So if we changed it to noon on a certain day, we could set day cycle to false, which is what I did for some of my building videos. And then you have eternal daytime. Days with no rain, I don't know, it keeps track, so it can figure out whether it should rain or not. You could change that to a lot, I suppose, if you wanted it to rain. Time of rain, I don't know if that's how long it's been raining or what, but you could adjust that as well. I'm not sure what the scenes are all about. You know, I've changed some of this stuff, not a lot, so you can experiment if you want. Just make sure you back up the save if it's a save that you're interested in keeping and not messing up. These zone timestamps, I'm not sure what those are. If we scroll down, we can probably find a couple more interesting things like our notebook unlocks. There was a bug where I think the large planting box would not unlock, so potentially we would be able to do that by editing the save file here. Additional save spots, interesting. So we could set that to false. I'm not sure what that does. Friendly fire is true. So we could actually turn off friendly fire. I'm not sure if that's a setting in game. Maybe it is. So here's our backpack inventory. If you did a whole bunch of work, you could map these ID numbers to objects, and then you could fill your pack with whatever you wanted. That's a lot of work involved to kind of put things in your pack and then see how it's saved in the save file or decompile the game and figure out the IDs that way. But that's what we have for our backpack there. Okay, we've got some Spirits of Amazonia specific settings here. Some object IDs, villages. Our notebook should be here somewhere. I'm just going to keep scrolling down, but feel free to mention in the comments anything interesting that you find in the save file that might be worth changing or investigating. Eventually we're going to get to kind of the world status, which is, you know, all of the objects in all of the regions. This is still Spirits of Amazonia stuff, I think. I'm not seeing the notebook unlocks yet. I'm going to try scrolling around a bit. To be honest, I haven't edited a Spirits of Amazonia save, and obviously this is not an official process, so all of this might change. It may have changed since the last time I did this, I'm not sure. So my notebook section may be very small here. I'm going to try to search for it. This is a relatively new save. Let's search for notebook. Oh, that's completed tutorials. Here we go. Here's our notebook. So you can see we have crafting weak stone axe is not unlocked. Harvesting dry leaves is not unlocked, hasn't been reminded. I don't know if these are, yep, these are crafting unlocked entries. So if you had a save that was fully unlocked, you may be able to copy entries from that save to another save. I'm not sure what is full unlocked means, so potentially you could adjust those that say false to true. Maybe that's if I've collected a tobacco leaf but I haven't consumed it yet. So collecting it would add it here, and then consuming it would probably change this is full unlocked to true. So basically, if you wanted to unlock everything, you'd have to have a save with everything unlocked, and then you could just copy that entire section to a new save and everything would be unlocked. And in that sense, if you had a save that did have the large planting box, you could just copy that item. And if I find one, I'll put the text in the description so you could just paste that into your save file and that would be unlocked. So you can see here our construction section, leaf beds, water filter. So lots of fun stuff to adjust in these save files. And I've changed a couple things. I'm just going to press Control S to save that file. And then all we have to do is drag it back to side quest. Make sure you're dragging it to the right directory. And you're going to see transferring, transfer complete, all tasks completed. Our modified save file with all of the changed settings is now back on the headset. We can disconnect the headset, load up the game, and enjoy our custom green hell. And that's all there is to it. If you haven't already, take a minute to click the S in the corner to subscribe. Heading for 100,000 subscribers, and I'd love to have you on the team. Also, like, share, leave a comment. Let me know what you think of the video. Let me know what you find and change in the save file. And if you're interested in getting 10% off your MetaQuest games and apps, including Green Hell VR, or 10% off your one-shot energy products, you can use the links in the description, and you'll be supporting this channel and my modding efforts and investigations, such as into the save file here, at the same time. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.